Today's a very sad day because on the 22nd of January 2008, the actor, director, father, son, brother, friend, Heath Ledger was sadly taken from this earthly world, and I can only imagine that he was taken to where he was always going to end up. And that's, of course, in heaven. I was thinking a lot about him last week, basically after I did my last weekly vlog, because I thought, oh, I'll do it on Saturday next week, so this week. And then I looked at the calendar and I saw that this Saturday, today, was the 22nd of January. And every year since I first became a fan of Heath Ledger and sort of discovered his films when I was sort of 14, ever since then, every year on this day, I've reflected about him, his work, his life, and felt his loss. Not from obviously a personal perspective. I never met him. I never knew him. You know, I was 8 when he died. But feeling the sense of loss of a truly natural, beautiful, courageous, and inspiring force. You know, I think it was when Heath won, I think it might have been a Golden Globe, or posthumously he won an award, and Christopher Nolan, the director of The Dark Knight, collected the award on his behalf and on the behalf of his family. And he put it quite well. He said something like, a huge hole has been ripped from the future of cinema. And that's really what I feel every year on this day. I feel the loss of all the films that he would have made, you know, had he lived. And I remember one year, I think, I wept, as I often do on this day. I mean, I cried earlier about this, but one year I remember I wept because I'd watched the last of his films and I realised that there weren't going to be any more from him. It sounds quite obvious, but up until that point, like, I'd been excited about, oh, his next film, what did he do next? And you know, I was a fan. I was looking forward to watching, you know, his next release, as it were, because to me they were all new films. I would buy them and then I would wait for them to come and then I'd sit down and watch them. It was quite a sort of, you know, it was quite an occasion for me. But then there came a point where I realised that there weren't any more. And I wept because I thought, if only he'd lived, you know, he'd have films coming out probably every year. And I could go and see them, and I could be excited and go and see them, you know, continuously every single year. You know, for a long, long time, for decades perhaps. And I felt the loss of that, and the fact that that was not going to happen. And that's similar to what I sort of felt today. And I wanted to make like a sort of tribute to him in this video, you know. But the more I thought about it and the more I sort of jotted down, okay, I need to remember to say that and to say that, and this is how he influenced me, this is how he inspired me, you know. The list just kept going on, because I think Heath Ledger might be the most impactful person in my life that I have never met, that I've never actually known. You know, he saved me in a way when I was 14 and 15 and onwards. He was a light in my life through his work. And inspirational doesn't even come close. And so what I think I'm going to do, or try to do, is make a comprehensive, long, proper video on him and the impact that he has had on my life. You know, because I think he deserves it. And I owe it to him, and I owe it to myself to make a comprehensive video about him, because he was my spiritual father for such a long time. I learned more from him and was inspired more from him and was moved more by him than almost any, well, I could say all my actual male role models in my life that I knew. And the power of him as a person, as an artist, as I say, as a force, I think for me it's never ending. I always find myself remembering him and seeing him and learning from him and feeling the magic of his spirit. And so that's what I think I'm going to endeavour to do next week. I'm going to plan a video, film clips for it, and then put together a comprehensive video about how much he's inspired me and how much he has meant to me and still means to me and will always mean to me. You know, he helped me shape my character in those formative years, those teenage years. And I feel so lucky that I found him and had him as a beacon of hope and light and artistry, you know. So lucky, so lucky. And he's touched my life in so many ways and given me so much. In some ways, a lot of it was just he gave me access to so many other things that have since been, you know, so influential, you know. And I want to really go into it because today I feel so kind of lost for words in a way. I can't quite express what I'm feeling because it's so deep, and so I'm going to do it properly. Yeah. Heath. This is not right. It's not right. I didn't even know him. Didn't even know think I'm going to end it there. I don't know what else to say really. I'm just going to get very emotional and go watch his films if you haven't. All of them. Go watch all of them. You'll be amazed. And you'll be sad. Yeah. God bless you, Heath.